Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. My name is Shane McKenna with Sprint University, and I'm here with Gary Wightman and James Stamper. How are you guys?
Good, Shane. How are you?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me. What we're doing is we started a new series called Sitting Down with Success in an effort to share best practices, tips and tricks in the field, prospecting advice to new hires, and tenured sales professionals. I'd love to talk to you more about Sprint Way of Selling.
Great. We've had a big year here with SWAS, as we call it, so we're excited to share some success stories.
Great. And Gary, I remember Sprint Way of Selling started this time last year. I was in Sprint Way of Selling June 6th of last year in Schaumburg. What are some things we're seeing from the account management perspective by launching Sprint Way of Selling?
Well, Shane, it's really been a game changer for us. And the thing that the Sprint Way of Selling has brought to us is, well, really two things. Number one, a set of tools with the opportunity roadmap. And I think that's been really, really important because it's given our people the right set of tools that they need to get into the details on opportunities and really flesh them out to make sure that we have a better chance of winning them. A key part of that is using the tools in conjunction with National Pit Stop Day and having those pit stops and really taking advantage of the collaboration with your peers, your management, solutions engineers, others, to really flesh out that opportunity to make sure that we're going to win it. And then the other piece is the sales DNA and the whole sales skills development piece. And so I'm really excited about that. We've defined competencies for every customer-facing role in the organization, and we've given people an assessment tool and learning journeys to help them improve their skills.
Sure. Love sales DNA, love being involved with pit stops on Friday. So, James, as a sales maker or a sales manager out in the field, what are some expectations they can set monthly to use and learn the SWAS tools?
That's a really good question. And in honor of school being out, I actually brought some flashcards to share. So, first of all, from an account manager standpoint, 2 to 3 active opportunity roadmaps is what we recommend. So when you're thinking about what opportunities should I use a roadmap for, think about your more complex, your bigger opportunities where you know the buying center, you might have already had a customer discovery appointment and so on. Those are the ones to really focus on. And then by active, I mean, you should have touched that roadmap within the last 3 months at least. And if it's been longer than that, you probably need to find a new opportunity to build a roadmap for it. So National Pit Stop Day, typically this is going to be Friday from 8 to noon. I know some teams do it a little bit differently, but regardless, spend an hour on National Pit Stop Day at least doing one of 4 things, either updating an existing opportunity roadmap, creating a new one for a new opportunity, sitting in on somebody's pit crew during their pit stop and helping collaborate on their deal, or having your own opportunity pit stop on your own deal. From a sales DNA standpoint, we recommend 1 hour per month spending that time one-on-one with your manager, going through the sales DNA platform and sharpening your selling skills. Now, from a sales manager standpoint, it's a little bit different. So we recommend having 10 spotlight opportunities at any point in time. So a spotlight opportunity are basically those top 10 must-win opportunities. So how does a manager get through all those in a month? Spend National Pit Stop Day doing 3 to 4 opportunities per week. So spend about 45 minutes to an hour on each one of these, and over the course of a month, you'll be able to get through all of these pit stops. Now, from a sales DNA standpoint, we recommend you spend 1 hour per month per account manager sitting down, having that one-on-one discussion about their selling skills and coming up with an action plan and some learning journeys for the sales maker to make. From a leadership DNA standpoint, again, this is your leadership development skills and your the time that you'll spend with your director going through those. So again, we recommend 1 hour a month to spend that time with your director. And then finally, don't forget about your sales coach. Your performance coaches are a great resource. They're dedicated to you. Spend at least an hour with them going through the concept of the Sprint Way of Selling.
Sure. Love the flashcards. We could have used those Monday, Tuesday during Sprint Way of Selling. But if I'm an account manager, I've already got a lot on my plate. I'm doing a lot, setting meetings, deploying units. Is this adding more to my workload?
Not really. If you think about the opportunity roadmap and some of the key components, the thing I like to focus on is the PQP. We've all been there. We spend a lot of time chasing a deal. We think we know a lot about it. We think we know all the decision criteria and who's going to be the players that we need to be engaged with, only to learn 2 months down the line after all this time and effort and resources that we've lost the deal and we didn't know what we thought we knew. Sure. If you go through the PQP and the roadmap and qualify that deal, if you get to the end of it and you've got nothing but caution signs, probably a good idea to go talk to your manager and say, you know what, I don't think this is right for us, we need to move on. A couple other tools we like, the value proposition. So you write that in a roadmap for each person in the buying center. It's easy to copy and paste that into an email. All of a sudden that replaces an email that might have taken you 30 minutes to write. Same with the deal one pager. You know, we all spend a lot of time making decks and PowerPoint presentations. You can copy and paste that deal one pager right out of the tool and into an email format. And then the final thing I like to say is, for a sales manager, you're most likely doing one-on-ones with each one of your account managers at least once a week anyway. Why not turn one of those over the course of a month into a pit stop, a sales DNA pit stop, where you can actually go and talk about skill development?
Makes sense. Jeff Simpson says work smarter, not harder.
That's exactly right.
Right. Last but not least, Gary, as a leader of the program, we launched SWAS with Sprint Business back in 2017, this time last year. What are some highlights we're seeing of this globally and worldwide proven success methodology?
So to your point, we launched last year. We actually started the training in May of last year, and we completed what we call the phase 1 rollout of SWAS in January of this year. We trained over 1,400 people, over 2,600 hours of face-to-face training. Huge investment in our sales makers, and I'm so excited that we were able to do that we were able to invest in them the way we were. I think the rollout was so successful in part due to just pent-up demand. It's been a long time since we've had a good, solid sales methodology that we can hang our hat on, and now we have one. Our partner, Peter Tricks at Sales Genetics, that's who we work with the Sprint way of selling, told me that our implementation of SWAS was probably the best, if not one of the best, that he's ever seen. And again, I think that has to do with the pent-up demand, great work in getting it rolled out, and just the fact that it's a solid program. So what have the results been? What have we seen with the Sprint way of selling? So again, we started the training in May. We started doing National Pit Stop Days in August. And after that point, we started seeing some pretty good things happen. First of all, we saw over a 7-month period a 32% increase in the deal size. So our people are selling more upmarket, and that's so important for us. Number 2, we started seeing an increase in the funnel. So we actually saw a 20% increase in our funnel, which meant there were more deals in there that we had the opportunity to close because we were capturing. So that's great. And then finally, back to the end users, so our salespeople, what's in it for them? It's helping them truly become true advisors, problem solvers, and partners for our customers, which is a win-win for everybody.
Wonderful. Win-win. We all want to be trusted advisors in the field. Increase in funnel, increase in deal size. That's great. Marie and I are meeting the new hires at Topgolf. Are there any SWAS tools we can use in Topgolf?
Well, you know, we were just talking about improvements that we've seen. So these new hires went through the Sprint Way of Selling workshop earlier this week. So I fully expect to see a 30% increase in distance on their drives off of the Topgolf.
Gary, thank you so much. James, thank you again.
Thanks, Shane.
Have a great week.
You too.